Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. Um, Molly is down, and today she's going to be doing a tribute to Mittens, her own tribute talking about her. And that will be posted on my other channel, which is now monetized again. And thank you for all the kind words. Please make sure you're subscribed to my other channel. Here we go. So, this is my reaction. This was just posted yesterday from Consequence, the website, 100 Best Drummers of All Time. And I'll just go through it. I'm not probably going to know all of the drummers on here, but we'll see. And I'm very curious where they're going to place Ringo Starr. I think he should be in the top 10 at least. He's my number one favorite drummer. Here we go. Mickey D from Motorhead. Yeah, he was very good. Tony Thompson, Frank Zappa, David Bowie. He played for Frank Zappa, didn't he? No? I guess not. I can be wrong once in a while. Ian Pace, Deep Purple, awesome drummer. Yeah. Chris Adler, he was in Megadeth. I'm not familiar with his drumming. Gina Schock from the B-52s. Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters. Robert Wyatt when he was, the Soft Machine. So yeah, I know most of these. Topper Head-On. Is it Head-On? I've never pronounced his last name before. Head-On. The Clash. Awesome drummer. Never heard of Stella Mozgawa. Warpaint. John Fishman from Fish. I was never into fish, unless the fish is gluten-free. Mo Tucker from Velvet Underground. Incredible drummer. Nice to see her on the list. Her drumming on Sister Ray is so good. Matt Halpern, never heard of. Meg White from the White Stripes. Is she a good drummer? Let me know in the comment section below. Clem Burke from Blondie. I'm going to try and guess, what band they play with without reading that. So, yeah, Blondie, excellent drummer. Lars Ulrich from Metallica. Some people say he's not a very good drummer. From what I've seen, he's a good drummer. Tony Royster Jr. plays with Jay-Z, I guess. En Vogue. Terry Lynn Carrington, never heard of. I guess that's like jazz. Papa Joe Jones, I've never heard of. Yeah, that's going back a bit. Count Basie Orchestra, Billie Holiday. I'm not that old. Lewis Cole, never heard of. Kenny Aronoff, he was with John Cougar Mellencamp. He's played with on so many records. He's a very powerful drummer, and he's played with John Fogerty, John Mellencamp. He's a hired gun. Igor, never heard. Brian Blade, I guess that's is it jazz? Jim Keltner, the great studio musician. Yeah. Ringo Starr, Ry Cooder, Little Village. George Harrison, of course, John Lennon on Imagine. Yeah. He's the one, is he the one, I get him confused with the other drummer. Is he the one that's in jail? I know one of those. Maybe it's somebody else I'm thinking of. Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. Don't know this person. Not sure of him, but he's played with David Bowie, so he must be pretty good. Phil Rudd from AC/DC. Awesome. Russ Kunk. I don't know how you pronounce that last name, but another great studio drummer. Jack DeJohnette. Miles Davis, Carmen Apix, yeah, Vanilla Fudge and Cactus. Not really, I haven't really listened to too much by those two bands. Jeff Beck, yeah. Beck, Bogart, Apix, I remember them. Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, what a name. Mel Lewis, no. Abe Cunningham from the Deftones, never heard. Viola Smith, no. Travis Barker from Blink 182, not one of my favorite bands. Jerry Kerrigan, not familiar with. Nope. Booker T and the MGs, Al Jackson Jr. Steve Jordan, he's awesome. And he's played with Neil Young also. Sheila E., yep, female drummer, played for Prince. Dale Crover. My middle name is Dale. I bet you didn't know that. From the Mill. I've never really listened to the Melvins. Tony Allen. Roger Hawkins. Another studio musician, drummer. The Funk Brothers. Hopefully I start getting to know some more of these drummers coming up. Of course, he was in, yeah, Toto. Steely Dan. Dennis Chambers. Phil Collins. I think he should be a little higher on the list as a drummer. He, very, very good drummer. I'd put him at least in the top 20. Never heard of her. Alex Van Halen I've heard of. Terry Bozzio from Frank Zappa and Missing Persons. Awesome drummer. Love his drumming. Josh Freese from Foo Fighters. Yeah. Good Replacement. Don't know him. Don't know him. Vinny Appice, Black Sabbath and Dio. The Grateful Dead. Steve Gadd. Paul Simon, Eric Clapton, another guy that's, like a studio guitarist, I believe. Mars Volta, never have listened to. Billy Cobham. I don't know how you pronounce the name, but yeah. I've got some Miles Davis albums. Hal Blaine, The Wrecking Crew. Of course, he played on Pet Sounds. Steve Smith from Journey. Clyde Stubblefield. Played with James Brown, so he must be pretty good. Bill Ward of Black Sabbath. What a underrated drummer he is. And he's like John Bonham with the way he hits those drums. That's a good placement for him, I feel. Maybe even a touch higher. Questlove, of course, The Roots. Don't know him. Yeah, I'd be curious what people think of this list and who's missing. Somebody always says, where's so-and-so? And I feel like responding, they're not on this list. I'm sorry. John G.R. Robinson. There's a name. Zigaboo Modelist. The Meters. Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. He is an awesome drummer. Joe Morello. Slipknot, never been into. Art Blakey, yeah, heard of him. Charlie Watts, the Rolling Stones, yep, he deserves to be in the top 25 for sure. Bernard Purdie, he played with Aretha Franklin and Steely Dan, not bad. Bill Bruford from Yes and King Crimson, awesome drummer. Karen Carpenter. I think Karen Carpenter. Now she is, I've seen her drum solos. Excellent drummer, but I think she's a bit high on the list. Buddy Rich named Karen as his favorite pop drummer. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Levon Helm from the band. Yeah. Cindy Blackman Santana. So is she related to Carlos Santana? Oh, married Carlos Santana. Mike, I follow him on Instagram at number 19. He's back with Dream Theater, one of those prog bands I've never really listened to. Max Roach, of course. I've heard of him. I've heard of Ringo Starr. There he is at number 17. Quite possibly one of the most underrated drummers. He exemplifies the saying, play to the song, never being too flashy, but capable of playing even a simple beat with a consistent groove from beginning to end. Yeah. He played for the song. I would have him, well, for me, in my heart, number one, but I think he deserves to be in the top 10 for his influence on other drummers too. Jabo Starks, I've never heard of, but he played with James Brown. Mitch Mitchell of Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, kind of a jazz feel to his drumming. Danny Carey from Tool. Yeah. Morris Goldtro's favorite band. Dave Lombardo. Never heard. Carl Palmer. Yeah, he's awesome. Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Asia. And Atomic Rooster, the early, I think just the debut album. Ginger Baker from Cream and Blind Faith. And one of the nicest musicians you could ever know. Top 10, Elvin Jones, I've heard of him. John Coltrane Quartet. Vinny, I've heard of him. He played with Frank Zappa. Yeah, and Sting. Probably, Frank Zappa had a lot of great drummers, but I think Vinny was probably the best. Stuart Copeland from The Police. The Police aren't one of my favorite bands, but of course, he's a superb drummer. Keith Moon, yep, from The Who. Very unique drumming. He just drummed all over the place, but it seemed to work. Number 6, Tony Williams. I've heard of him. Dave Weckl, I've never heard of. Czech Korea. Who's going to be number 1? It's going to be I think it's going to be John Bonham. Yeah, because his name hasn't come up yet. Gene Krupa, yeah, he inspired a lot of drummers. Neil Peart at 3, yeah, that was the other one I was thinking might be number 1. Yeah. I mean, my like I said, my favorite drummer is Ringo Starr. The best drummer, I don't know. Ringo would still be way up there for me, but maybe Neil Peart, John Bonham, Bill Ward for me, Buddy Rich, another one of the nicest guys in all of showbiz. him and Ginger Baker should have gotten together and had a nice fight. And number 1, yeah, John Bonham. So do you agree with John Bonham being number 1? He would be in my top 10 for sure, maybe top 5. Yeah. So that is it. I would love your thoughts in the comments section below. And remember, please subscribe to this channel and my other channel, and stay tuned for Molly's tribute to our 2 cats, Jinx and Mittens. Bye.